Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 17 of And the Oscar Goes To, my series of daily shorts on who I believe will win, and in some cases, who I think should win the big prize come Oscar night, which is less than a week away on March 2nd. So, we have looked at all of the categories that make up a film, and now we have our finished products. So, we're going to start off with the shorts, and today I'm going to kick it off with Best Documentary Short. And the nominees are Death by Numbers, Kim A. Snyder and Janique L. Robillard. I Am Ready, Warden, Smriti Mundhra and Maya Gnyp. Incident, Bill Morrison and Jamie Kalven. Instruments of a Beating Heart, Emma Ryan Yamazaki and Eric Nyari. And the only girl in the orchestra, Molly O'Brien and Lisa Remington. Let's take a look at these films a little closer, starting with Death by Numbers, which is a look at the trial and aftermath of the trial of Nicholas Chavez, the Parkland school shooter who killed 14 of his fellow students and 3 adults, as well as injuring many more. Told through the journals and first-hand testimony of writer Sam Fuentes, this film doesn't shy away from the hardship faced by the victims and Fuentes' own feelings and inner conflict at this time in her life as she looks back at this. Then we have I Am Ready, Warden, which follows the countdown to the possible execution of John Henry Ramirez as he sits on death row in Texas after the 2004 murder of Pablo Castro. Now, he has had 3 stays of execution prior, and he wants to connect with those impacted, and we will be given insight into how he addresses both his family as well as with the Castro family almost 20 years after the incident. Incident, set in 2018, in a rather tense setting of Chicago at the time, edits together a series of footage from police officer body cameras as well as that of a traffic camera looking at a Chicago street corner. In this, we are witness to the lead up to the police shooting of a local barber. We see the shooting and the aftermath of what happens, and we see how the police handle both the victim as well as the onlookers. Instruments of a Beating Heart is set at the Tsukato Elementary School in Tokyo, Japan. We look at the first grade students who are preparing to play Beethoven's Ode to Joy to the incoming first graders. A joyous event in the planning, we will see the pressures that one of the students puts on themselves in order to be one of the featured musicians amongst the rest of the orchestra. And then we have the only girl in the orchestra, a portrait of Orrin O'Brien, the first woman to be a full-time member of the New York Philharmonic, chronicling her early days, her entry into the orchestra up to her recent years. We get glimpses of all of the lives that she touched, including her niece, who's the filmmaker, as well as with the many private students she taught over the years, some of whom are teachers or members of the Philharmonic itself. Okay. This is a really solid batch of films. There's not a weak one in the mix. However, if you were to give a name to this theme of this set of shorts, I was talking with a friend who pretty much called it music and murder or music and mayhem because, the 2 of the 5 are a little lighter, addressing, the music, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and Only Girl in the Orchestra. And then you have the other 3, which deal with murder and death and tragedy, and it's a painful batch to watch all at once. I went to the showcase to see all 5 at once. Taking myself out of that factor and just looking at the politics, right, on who I think is going to win this award based on the way things are trending. And again, all of these are timely, but when that envelope is opened, I'm pretty confident that we are going to hear I Am Ready, Warden called up to the stage. However, based on how it was shot and some of the other elements that they incorporated into the film that I found very effective, who I believe should win the prize, I don't believe they will, but who I think should win this one is Death by Numbers. Of the 5, that was the strongest one for me. But what do you think? That's what I want to know. Sound off in the comments, let me know. I will see everyone tomorrow as we get into the next short. We'll look at the live action. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.